त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौली स्फुरत् तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीमां मीनवक्षोरुहाम् पाणिभ्यामलिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम् सान्निपातिकज्वर सततज्वर विषमज्वर ग्रह नक्षत्र दोषाञ्चान्या हर हर काली सर सर गौरी धम धम विद्ये आले माले काले बन्धे भज भज विद्ये मख मख विद्ये नाशय नाशय पापम् हर हर दुःस्वप्नम् विध्वंसय विध्वंसय विघ्नविनाशिनि रजनी सन्ध्ये मुन्दुभिनादे मानस्तोषे मानसवेगे शङ्खिनी चक्रिणी वज्रिणी गदिनी शूलिनी अपमृत्युविनाशिनी विश्वेश्वरी द्राविडी केशवदयिते पशुपति सहिते भीममर्दिनि धवनी दामिनी शबरी विराटी वाजक्री ॐ द्रं 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 ॐ द्रं गुरु गुरु
Namaste, Suprabhatam. Good evening to all of you and welcome you all once again on this beautiful session on the Global Festival of Yoga from Indica Yoga, which is having the motto of bringing out the authentic, immersive and transformative forms of yoga. And through this Global Festival of Yoga, we have been bringing wonderful various dimensions of yoga from the traditional point of view, as well as their relevance in today's modern world. In this context, today we are having a wonderful session on the Siddha Yoga. The tradition of Siddha Yoga is a very prominent tradition which we have been having in this country. And when you say the word Ayush, today we have the Ministry of Ayush also, and we have the departments of Ayush in all state governments throughout the country. And so Ayush system of medicine as such is growing very well today. That's a wonderful welcoming situation today. Even in this COVID-19 situation, the government of India had brought a lot of directives in the Ayush treatment systems. So when you say Ayush, it is A for Ayurveda, Y for Yoga and Naturopathy, U for Unani, and S for Siddha, and H for Homeopathy. So we have brought in this Indica Yoga's Global Festival of Yoga, dimensions of Ayurveda and various other systems. Naturopathy also we had. And therefore today we are privileged to have this wonderful session on the Siddha Yogam, which we are going to have from Dr. Vetrivendan from Salem, Tamil Nadu. I take this privilege to welcome Dr. Vetrivendan. Namaste and welcome Dr. Vetrivendan to be on this panel today. And Dr. Vetrivendan will be presenting on the Siddha tradition of yoga. As we see, in fact, yoga and the Siddha medical system are like two sides of the same coin. They have their same Vedic roots. And Siddha tradition basically is from the 18 Siddhas who are predominantly seen in Tamil Nadu, but they are seen in different other kshetras of this country also. For example, like Patanjali or Agastya, we see them in various other literatures as well. So this is a tradition. It ultimately, again, its lineage starts from Lord Shiva himself. As we see in Hatha Yoga or any other yoga parampara, it is the Adi Yogi, Adinatha Shiva himself who is the profounder of this wonderful Siddha Marga. With this introductory note, I would like to introduce our panelist today, Dr. Vetrivendan, who is a very senior Siddha medical practitioner as well as a yoga researcher as well. Today, he is working as a senior Siddha medical officer in government of Tamil Nadu in Salem, and has been doing a wonderful work in spreading Siddha and yoga both together hand in hand. He had done his Siddha medical education, the professional Siddha medical education from Dr. MGR Medical University in Tamil Nadu, after which he had also been a member of the board of yoga research, MBYR at S. Vyasa, where he had been involved in a lot of yoga research projects. And also he has done his master's in yoga from the Tamil Nadu Physical Education and Sports University, and have done varied yoga courses from varied yoga paramparas. It could be the Art of Living or Isha Yoga. And of course, his growth has been in the path of yoga with S. Vyasa for more than 2 decades, I would say. And he has been close friend of mine and all other organizers here in Indica Yoga as well. So he had been part of varied committees. For example, the Stop Diabetes movement initiated by S. Vyasa. Dr. Vetrivendan had been a senior research fellow and had been involved in various diabetes projects along with various, it's a unifying force bringing all other yoga institutions like Maharishi, Vedatri Maharishi's Varga Vanamadan organization and the Sky Yoga and all those bringing together. He had been playing a pivotal role in bringing all these yoga organizations. Today, he is also serving as the joint secretary of the Tamil Nadu chapter of the Indian Yoga Association, IYA, which is a pioneering yoga apex body today in this country and the world at large. And he had been going to a number of international yoga Siddha medical conferences worldwide and had been presenting his papers and had been teaching this Siddha yoga tradition through various institutions, particularly the Vasishta Yoga Clinic at Salem, under his directive, has been doing this for a number of years. And he had brought wonderful different innovative yoga programs like the Prana Yoga or the Eye Yoga and various other initiatives to something which I remember to recollect and to share about Dr. Vetrivendan. His wife, Dr. Kamali, is also a Siddha practitioner, and both of them together has been taking the way ahead in the Grihastha Dharma. With this initial introductory note, I welcome Dr. Vetrivendan on behalf of all of us at Indica Yoga's Global Festival of Yoga. Welcome, Vetri. Vanakkam. Nice to see you along with all the Siddhas around you. Behind your head, they're all there, and through you, they are representing and giving their teaching today.
Just
nice to see you back again.
Just getting the blessings every time when I sit here. So thank you for the nice introduction, which was short and sweet, since it was written by me. Thank you, Indica Yoga, for giving me such a wonderful platform to share the unique presentation about Siddha, which is a very old system of medicine, age-old system of medicine among Ayush practitioners. And there is a specific concept of Siddha medicine, which is there, and Siddha Yogam, the speciality of Siddha medicine, which we are going to see in detail. So before going to this, let us try to invocate the Siddhar Vanakkam. Can sit. Can just please sit comfortably. Share the presentation. So, a very good morning, warm greetings from people of Tamil Nadu. So the next 45 minutes, we'll be going to see some information about the Siddha medicine and its yoga part, this Siddha Yogam. In that, we are going to highlight, though different types of yogam is been mentioned in Siddha system of medicine, we are going to highlight about Tirumala's Siddha Yogam. So, the very old languages, let us mention about Chinese, they have a Chinese system of, they have Ayurvedic system of medicine, and Tamil, we have which has been practiced today from the age-old tradition, and the yoga part of Siddha medicine, and what are the current research has been done in Siddha system of medicine.
Dr. Vetri, are you there? I think your video has got struck. Namaste, Dr. Vetri, are you there? I think there is some problem in his network. I think you got a problem in your network, Dr. Vetri. Vetri, are you there?
I think he's rejoining.
Okay. Is he using his mobile network? Vetri, you have to unmute yourself. Dr. Vetri, you have to unmute, yeah.
Yes. I'm using my broadband only, but can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, yes. Okay. Is it okay? Is it okay, sir?
Yeah, it's visible now. Yeah.
Okay. So Ayush system of medicine, that is, as I said earlier, all other Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani, they comprise medicines, and yoga is a non-pharmacological therapy, and homeopathy is come from abroad. So since it has been practiced for age-old tradition, and homeopathy is included in Ayush systems. And coming to Siddha, this is something peculiar system of medicine is being practiced from 5,000 years back, which accounts for Vadam, which is the specialty process of alchemy. It is a ancient branch of natural philosophy and proto-scientific tradition practice in Siddha system of medicine. And Vaidyam is a medicine that treating the disease along both the treating as well as the preventing the diseases. And Yogam, the special branch which deals with not only by managing the stress, but also how to become immortal. And Jnanam, that is the higher consciousness, the human intellect, everything is spoken in Jnanam. And Mandiram, it's a way of treatment by chanting and for curing the diseases. This has been spoken in Siddha system of medicine. And immortality, this is the highest among all these branches, which deals with how to become immortal, how to postpone your death. So these are the special things which has been mentioned in Siddha system of medicine. The Siddha system doesn't just limited to medicine and administering medicine alone. It just goes beyond how to become immortality. That's why I always used to wonder about the difference between Siddha and Ayurveda. I can able to feel that the Ayurveda starts and detoxification and ends in regeneration, and Siddha starts in regeneration and ends in immortality. So this is the way I could able to interpret the Siddha system of medicine and how that comes. So Dravidian languages takes the lead. The Tamil, which has been spoken in olden days, which is the sub-branches of Tamil. This is Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada, Tulu, Gaund and Karo, the different languages being branches of Tamil language. And the Agasthyar from Pudi Hill, the south end of near Kanyakumari, the Agasthyar Hills is there, and that is the place, birthplace of Agasthyar, where from that only he just shared the knowledge of Siddha medicines to all other people. Apart from we have some scientific evidences with this thing that Professor Max Muller, he clearly mentions Tamil language is the most highly cultivated language and possesses the richest source of indigenous literature. And according to Professor Caldwell, he mentions the only vernacular literature in India which has been imitating is not been imitating, because in olden days there will be limitation in languages, but it is the only language which don't have any imitation with other languages. And no language combines with greater force of equal gravity than Tamil. So that is the thing that Reverend Percival mentioned about his research, because these are the things that the scientific evidence that Tamil is the very most oldest language spoken in our Indian subcontinent. Coming to history, with our evidences, whatever we have, it has been come from Mohenjo-daro and Harappan civilization 5,000 to 6,000 years ago, and slowly bred to the Dravidian culture 2,500 years ago, and continue to be practiced actively in southern part of India, that is Tamil Nadu and Tamil-speaking areas in different countries like Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Singapore, and other Tamil-speaking countries. Important to name, there are about 18 Siddhas. There is few to name as Agastya, Tirumular, Bogar, Apolipani, etc. They are the pioneers in the Siddha system of medicine. And what does it advocate? So this human body is a conglomeration of three humors that is called Vali, Alal, and Ayam. What you can able to compare with the Vada, Pitta, and Kapha in Ayurvedic system of medicine, and the basic tissue and waste products. So equilibrium of all these conglomeration is health, and imbalance of all these things is disease or sickness. So the ultimate goal of Siddha system of medicine is to maintain the equilibrium between the all three humors, that is Vali, Alal, and Ayam, what you can call as correspondingly Vadam, Pittam, and Kabam. Siddhas, they strongly believe this body, whole body is made of Panchabhuta, and this body accounts for 4,440 diseases in the human body, and they clearly mention these are diseases which can be cured, and we have some limitations, and certain diseases cannot be cured. And there is another history which has been traditionally told, and it has been started from the Shiva and transformed to Parvati, and Parvati to Murugan, and Murugan is the Tamil god. We used to say that from Murugan to Nandi, Nandi to Agasthyar, and from Agasthyar to different 18 Siddhas we have been transformed. So as a whole, Siddha as a whole, we cannot limit to medicine alone. Siddha as a whole, it deals with the metaphysics. This is the first ambiguous and often ambivalent relations between the science and religion in Siddha system are rhetoric. So it's a rare thing that it speaks about metaphysics, and it speaks about medicine. The medicine is not only to cure the disease, but also to prevent the disease from getting it. And Siddha speaks about astrology. Siddha speaks about alchemy. Siddha speaks of astronomy also. So only the whole thing, the whole ball comprises of metaphysics, medicine, astrology, alchemy, astronomy, and many more to come up with that. So alchemy, the Siddhas are pioneers in alchemy. Comparing with the Europe and other Middle East people, Siddhas, many people from Middle East, they come to Tamil Nadu and they settle and they learn the technique of alchemy, and they've gone back to their own country and propagated the Siddha system of medicine and the Siddha system of alchemy concept. And like how Bodhidharma or Bogar came from China and back to China and spreaded the Varmam and other allied practices. Same in different types of Siddhas like Yakopu, the French priest. So these are the people who come here and settle and learn the technique, and this they go back to their own countries to spread the concepts of Siddha. And Siddhas are infinity. To name prominently are 18. There are 18 Siddhas. What are the verses which we have been chanting in the beginning of the lecture, which accounts for 18 Siddhas. They are the pioneers and Siddhas of medicine. Coming to the primordial text, they are Tolkappiyam, which speaks about the three humors, that is Vali, Alal, and Ayyam, and Tirukkural, which has been written by, which often our Prime Minister often quotes wherever he goes, even when he goes to different countries, he quotes about Tirukkural, which is the holy book of Tamil, which speaks about medicine, and especially one chapter is given for medicine and how the medicine can be administered, how the qualities of a doctor, and what are the sub-qualities of a medicine. Everything is being mentioned in this Tirukkural, which speaks about medicine, and also the imbalance in these three humors may result in diseases. So this is the thing that which we have a primordial text in Siddha system of medicine, and it is based on the 26 tattvams. The Siddha system is the only system which is based on 96 tattvams, that is 5 elements, 5 objects, that is 5 organs of action, perception, that is called Jnanendriyam, Kanmendriyam, Andhakaranam, the 10 nerves, Dasanadiga, Dasanadis, and 5 states of soul, Panchavatai, Mummalam, that is Anam, Kanvam, and Maya, and the 3 qualities of, that is Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, and 3 doshas, and the 3 regions, and predominant patients, that is admitted disease, diagnose the disease, and 6 states have been mentioned in this system, and 10 dasa vayus, and 7 dhatus is being mentioned here, and 5 shi, that is the panchakoshams, and the 9 doors, specifically the 9 different vents inside the body. So these are the 72 tattvas and 24 tattvas combined to 96 tattvam. Is this tattvam the Siddha system is based. This is the main principle of Siddha system of medicine. Coming to the philosophy, it speaks about 72,000 nadis and 13,000 nerves and 10 main arteries and 10 vital as, that is dasavayus, and 3 humors, and the whole account for 4,448 diseases being considered in Siddha system of medicine. The reference is Ishvara Mainyana Nadi Nool, that is Nool is the text which you give quote. So coming to the brief overview, the Siddha system is diagnosed by based on 8 way of, that is called Envagai Thervu, we used to call as 8 ways of diagnosing your diseases, by pulse, by speech and voice, by seeing the tongue, by seeing the body, the nature of the body, and by the urine and the motion, and the eyes, the speech also we can able to diagnose the disease. These are different ways of diagnosing the disease. And what are the specialities of Siddha system of medicine is the main branches Siddha Yogam, and Varnam is the one of the main branch which has been spoken today, and Tukkanam, the way of manipulation technique, which is this branch of Siddha system of medicine, and Puramaratham is external medicine. This is external system, external therapies we used to call. To my knowledge, I can able to proudly say that our system of medicine, which we should be very proud that our system, Siddha system of medicine, which has 32 ways of medicine, giving medicine internally, and 32 way of administering medicine externally. So the 2 different ways. There are 64 ways of administering the medicines, both internally and externally. So this is a specialty. Siddha Yogam, this deals with the metaphysics in the life and helps you to become immortal. The Siddha Yogam always advocate for immortal. That is the difference between the yoga mentioned in north and yoga mentioned in the south. In Siddha system, we were limited to certain asanas, and our practice of yoga starts with the pranayamas. And the internal medicine, the internal medicines, the 32 ways of administering medicine, like kashayam, tablet, Legium, Rasayanam. There are different types. 32 different types we have. Accounting of shelf life of 3 hours. For example, decoction has a 3 hours of shelf life, and certain medicines like Pashma, Chanduram, other Kattu, Kalanga, these are different medicines which don't have any expiry time. But that is, as the time grows, as the time advances, the potency of the medicine increases. Coming to the external system, that is external way of administering medicine is equally important. There is 32 ways of administering medicine externally. That is especially in Siddha system of medicine. No other system in the whole world has this concept. It is Varmam. The Varmam is the one huge, as mentioned in Ayurveda as Marma. Here everything is mentioned in detail, and how that being happened, and what way, what are the barriers are located, and how that if any Varmam is affected, what is the disease, you'll be getting it, how that can be treated with. Everything is mentioned in detail. And today the Varmam is especially, we have two different types. One is defensive way of thing, other is treating the disease therapeutically, and it has been practiced as a martial arts. And it is for a therapeutic aspect, we have a specific way of administering the Varmam in different ways, as said in the text. For example, treating the nervous disorders, bone disorders, or some other communicable disease and non-communicable disease. Even for COVID kind of situation, we are using Varmam for a treatment to increase the oxygen saturation level. So these certain techniques which everyone can do the self, because we cannot touch the patient in COVID kind of situation. We teach the treatment, and they can able to practice by themselves, so that the oxygen saturation is increased. That is being done in different studies. And Kaya Kalpam is the untouched field in Siddha system of medicine. This is the one which we advocate for all the how to become immortal, and how we can able to become immortal through medicines. That is by herbal medicines, by metallic medicines, that is different ways, like Mooliga Karpam. We call Mooliga Karpam means taking herbal thing, and by eating certain herbal medicines, you can become immortal. And Tavadu Karpam means taking certain metals, like for gold example, which has a potent antioxidant effect that will keep you immortal. And Yoga Karpam, by practicing yoga specifically, Tirumular yoga or certain yoga practices can help you to. So different ways of becoming immortal is been mentioned in the Kaya Karpam concept. Okay. So Attama Siddhigal, this is the supernatural powers the Siddhas develop. Siddhar means, Siddhi means attaining the enlightenment. That enlightenment is being only you can get it by this practicing it. There is Anima, Mahima, Garima, Lahima, Prapti, Prahamyam, Isatum, and Vasitum. So these are the 8 different supernatural powers is being practiced by Siddhas. One who can able to practice these Siddhis, then only we can call them as a Siddhas. All Siddhas, they have practiced this. How they will, the Anima is becoming the smallest size, and Mahima is the expand as large as we can. The Garima is become heavy as possible, and Lahima is the one which can able to become lighter as light as possible, so that it can able to float under ocean or river, something like that. And able to construct anything is Prapti, and Prahamya is able to become whatever we want to desire, what kind of we have to, like for example, if I want to be here, let me be here. I want to come to Bangalore, I can go there. So that kind of a powers which we have, that is Prahamyam. And Isatam is knowing all powers and getting it control over them. That is the cutting. That is kind of a pratyahara kind of a thing. That Isatam, you have lots of powers, you can have a control over it. And Vasitvam is the one ability to getting the control of life in that. Vasitvam is you can able to influence the people. This is the thing that every yoga guru has to pull the people, pull the crowd among them, and taking the control over them. So these are different types of siddhis practiced by Siddhas in olden days. The basic principle of Siddha is microcosm versus macrocosm. So it is a concept which we've been mentioned. Andathil ullade pindam. This is verses from Sattamuni Siddhar, which advocates Andathil ullade pindam, pindathil ullade andam, andamum pindamum ondrudan arindudan parkum pollude, which means we are microcosm, the whole universe is macrocosm. So the ultimate goal of us to merge with the universe. So if something happens there in the universe, then happens inside the body. If something wrong happens in the universe, definitely that will have a reflection in our own body. So it's our duty to keep the universe safe, to keep ourselves safe. So that is the thing which we advocate, which Siddha advocates. So that is a main concept, to keep our own environment safe. So when our environment is safe, when our universe is safe, definitely we will also be safe. So that is the concept of Siddha system of medicine, the principle behind it. And almost at last the three humors. So there is Vali, that is called Vadam, corresponding in Ayurveda, and Adal and Pittam, and Ayam is Kabam. So these three things is always been managed. So basically, the way of everyone will have a different types of the imbalance in all these things. For example, if Vadi or Vadam is increased, what are the disease happens inside the body, how that can be managed with that. And Adal is the one, is the Pittam inside the body, how that can be managed. And Ayam is the Kabam, which we call Kabam or Kapha. We used to say that, and if that the derangement of all these things definitely will lead to a disease. So under normal circumstances, according to Siddha theory, and the Vadam occupies the lower part of the body, and Pittam is the abdominal part, and Kapham is the throat, and both the related to the throat and the head region. So these three things has to be maintained here. And according to Siddha system, first 33 years is Vadam, second 33 years is Pittam, and last 33 is Kavam. So that is the thing which we advocate in Siddha system of medicine. That's why based on that, we can able to get the disease, and according to that disease, we can able to treat the things. And this is the special thing which is being said in Tirukkural, which is the holy book for Tamil people. Utravan Tirpan Marundolai Chelvan Indarpar Natkutre Marundu, which means how in olden days they had decoded the things. The treatment consists of 4 parts. It is not that medicine alone treat yourself. The patient, the physician, the medicine, and not but the least the medical attendant. Because today the medical attendant is more responsible for curing rate. It is not the relation between patient and doctor alone, not the medicine alone, but also the medical attendant. And how further these are being classified into different ways, that the patient, medicine, physician, and medical attendant, they have 4 different rules also. The patient should have compliance, understanding the part of the day, what kind of disease they have it, and how the disease, progress of the disease, and how we can able to cope with the disease. And they should have positive thinking that even though if I have disease, my disease will come down, and kind of a tolerance should be there for the people. So these are the qualities of the patient. So he further mentions the qualities of the patient. What are the patient quality and how that they should behave accordingly. They should have compliance, understanding the disease, positive thinking, and as well as the tolerance towards the environment and tolerance towards the medicines. And physician, coming to the physician, he should be very much skilled. Topmost skilled physician should be there, and he should have a vast experience based on treating the diseases and preventing the diseases. And integrity and purity should be there whether ethically, integrity and purity should be there, and power of tolerance, because they should not get irritated with the patient. So he should be very cool, calm, and relaxed in treating the patients. And medicines, the quality speaks. The purity and high quality should be there for the medicines, compatible to the body, because only the thing which is compatible to the body, it starts working. Otherwise, it will give some other side effects, and that will get into the problem. So it should be easily accessible also, and it gives various diseases. But not only it gives, there should not be any side effects, but also side benefits should be there for the medicines. And medical attendant, he should be the last major thing, that he should have a positive emotions, and he should give counseling to the patients about the disease, and we should give some positive words to the patient too, which can able to effect in the healing of the disease. And integrity, purity, and he should have the wisdom. So this kind of this is been mentioned in very old text called Tirukkural in the Marundu, that is a medicine chapter. And as I said it in the Tirumular also, apart from Tirumular, many other siddhas refer the Ashtanga Yogam and Niyamam, Niyamam, Asanam, Pranayamam, Pratyaharam, Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. So here we could able to fix it up as a circle. We cannot go for the step ladder. In my concept, I could able to see that we cannot put it a step ladder concept. It should be a circle, because wherever they come to the, wherever they are coming to the position, they will undergo all kind of practices. For example, when they come for yoga classes as asana, they want to practice asana. Definitely, when they start practicing asana, they automatically develop the yamam and niyamam. So yama niyaman automatically they get into the practice, and then they start doing pranayamas and controlling the senses, pratyaharam, dharana, dhyana and samadhi. So what are the other things which is being advocated here? Wherever we fit in, either when we come for practice of samadhi or when we come for practice of dhyana and dharana, we all undergo all the 8 system of the yoga practice has been advised by the Siddha Tirumular. So according to yoga, according to siddhas, there are around 18 siddhas. They explain 18 different ways, different types of yogas have been explained. So Valangudal, which means Kriya-like techniques. Kriya-like techniques, before getting into yoga, we have to practice Kriya-like techniques, which is Kapala Sutti, Apana Sutti. The Kapala Sutti is the cleansing the area above the neck, and Apana Sutti is cleansing the intestines. So these 2 things which you have to completely follow before practicing the Siddha Yoga. So different types of siddhas as explained in different ways, like Vasi Yogam is explained. Siddhas, Vasi Yoga, a special yoga that deals with the length of the breath, how much the breath should be there and how much you have to breathe in, how much you have to breathe out. So that is mentioned in Vasi Yogam. And Agathir Yogam, it speaks about the origin of life and end of life, different types of the dhyanam. It has been spoken in Agastya Yoga. It advocates simple asanas and the Siva Kalai and darshans, different way of darshan, worshipping the God is been spoken Agastya Yogam. Yoga is not limited to asanas and pranayamas alone. Something beyond that is been mentioned. And Bogar also, Bogar Siddhar is also mentioned, Bogar Vasi Yogam. He speaks about breath control, and Attama Siddhi, he speaks about it. And Bodhidharma Yogam, that is, he speaks about Varmam Yogam, the Kalari practices, and the Kalari Yogam also he's been practicing. And wall gazing, and he speaks about a supernatural by Attama Siddhis. So these are the different yoga people spread about the yoga concepts. And Sattamuni Yogam, Sattamuni is one of the who spoke about the microcosm and macrocosm, and he speaks about the spitting, that is what I can say about the Kriya practices, as I said earlier, and Enima practices, and Karpa methods, immortal practices to keep the body stable. And Kongonavar is one more Siddha. He speaks about 96 Tattvams, and Sukshma Nile, the Sukshma stage of Kaya Siddhi, he speaks about it. And Sundara Yogam, he speaks about the Kriya workshop and controlling the desires, how to control your desires and how to balance your desires, that he is mentioned about it. And Terayar is one more Siddha. He speaks about Sukla Stambam, how to control your the semen kind of a thing, and kindling the Kundalini out. And he too speaks about Atanga Yogam. The Terayar's yoga practice is main thing that controlling the sperm, and by that you can able to increase the awake, and the Kundalini is the practice done by Terayar's Yogam. And Kalanginadar he speaks about Navagraha worship. It's been spoken about by Kalanginadar Yogam and Siva Yogam, and he speaks more about Kayakarpa herbs, which is good for immortal thing. And Karvurar is a special Siddhar, and who speaks about the secret of 7 chakras and Vasi Yogam, and these qualities of the false yogis also spoken by Karvurar Siddhar. And Ramadevar is a very renowned yogi. He speaks about the Kesari Yogam, the Kesari Mudra, and Paranyana Kesari Yogam, that is and Resagam and Puragam and Kumbhakam. He speaks about the inhalation, retention, and exhalation concept, and he speaks about Siva Yogam also. And Siva Vakya, he speaks of rebirth and immortal of the immortal pranayama. He speaks about it. Machamuni, Kaurakar, and Tiruvula speaks about 10 nadis, Marasutti and Jalasutti, and Yoga Sadhana, he speaks about it. And Kagapusandar, he speaks about the basics of Vasyogam. And he speaks about the constitutional yoga, what are the yoga that can be given for a certain vada and pitta and kapha, based on the constitution, what are the yoga practices differs. He speaks about that. And Pulipani, Kaya Siddhi, how to become youthful, that is Pulipani speaks. And Pulathir Yogam, he speaks of eating habits. What are the things which we should eat before practicing yoga? And Babaji Kriya, he also speaks about Kriya yoga techniques and Kundalini awakening, and many more to come. So every yoga people, Siddhas, they spoke about different types of yoga according to their own concept. And Dakshinamurti Yogam is something different concept which is not mentioned in any other text. Siddha's concept it is mentioned, and Tirumala Yogam, they are the unique concept who speaks about asanas, breath control, advanced meditation, and Kundalini awakening is the major thing. And they speak less about asanas, more about pranayama and other things. Coming to the Siddha Yoga, Tirumala's Tirumandram is a masterpiece. Though many different yoga people, the many different Siddhas mention about yoga, Tirumandram is masterpiece which has more than 3,000 verses, which speaks about yoga, tantra, mysticism, mantra, and Kundalini, etc., which is based on the Saiva Siddhanta philosophy. This is a major thing. The Saiva Siddhanta is a Siddha system of medicine. And his third chapter, he's mentioned about Siddha Yoga, and he speaks about 535 verses, which in which he covers Atta Yogam also, more about pranayamas and less about asanas. And let me try to highlight my own favorite verses, which is how to breathe. That is, ஏற்றி இறக்கி இருகாலும் பூரிக்கும் காற்றை பிடிக்கும் கணக்கறிவார் இல்லை காற்றை பிடிக்கும் கணக்கறிவாளருக்கு கூற்றை விதைக்கும் குறியதுவமே. This 4 lines, it simply explains one who knows how to breathe, inhale and exhale, and how long you have to hold the technique of breathing. One who knows, they can become immortal. The instrument is the kick to death away from Yamadharma. So this is the thing that Siddhas advocated 5,000 years ago. Without any research, without any gadgets, without any laboratories, they themselves, they observed, and they did with gracious consciousness and knowledge, they just given this text. And the next thing is, இட்டது அவ்விடு இலகாது ரேசித்து புட்டி பட தசநாடியும் பூரித்து கொட்டி பிராணனும் அபானனும் கும்பித்து நட்டம் இருக்க நமநிலை தானே, which means this is a home where the soul is kept, won't give up. If you exhale and inhale, the 10 nadis, that is இடகலை, பின்கலை, சுழுமனை, சிங்குவை, the 10 nadis are completely engaged. All the dasa nadis is completely engaged. And the practice of breath holding, inhale the pranan and stay up the right, that is in pranan and abanan. The abanan is a downward direction, pranan is a upward direction. When these both has to be united, that kind of technique is Tirumandram Pranayama, which helps you to stay away and there is no death in you. And how to practice, this is a way that Tirumala advocates how to practice. That is ஏறுதல் பூரகம் ஈரட்டு வாமத்தால் ஆறுதல் 64 கும்பகம் ஊறுதல் 32 ரேசகம் மாறுதல் ஒன்றன் கண் பஞ்சகமாமே, which is inhale, which clearly mentions this way: close the right nostril and inhale through the left nostril for 2 chants, and then close the both nostril where no inhaled air escapes out of the breath, and hold it for 8 counts, and then open the right nostril, exhale for 4 chants. This is the thing which is being expressed by Tirumala's Tirumandram, which I just was searching where it is being mentioned. It is sometimes it is being mentioned in Hatha Yoga Pradipika also, and it is being mentioned in one of the Upanishads also. That is the later Upanishad, which is age of 10th century. But Tirumala's Tirumandram, this is the age of Tirumala's Tirumandram is around between 5th and 6th century BC. So this is certain research. This is the way that we can able to practice Tirumala's pranayama. Apart from that, he has spoken about a number of different pranayamas to account for it. And there are a lot of research has been done in this Tirumala's Tirumandram pranayama. Specifically, we have done a research in diabetic, and we could be able to see there is a significant reduction in HbA1c level, and impact on cancer also. This has been done in reducing the breast cancer survivors specifically in the Tirumala Pranayama, and impact on immunity also. They can able to increase there are certain when you practice at the end of practice of Tirumala Pranayama, increases saliva is been produced, and that saliva which has 24 different type of proteins, and in that one is the nerve growth factor, which is responsible for the rewiring of the brain, and thus we can able to reduce the cortisol levels and stress induced hormones, and which can account for the lead of parasympathetic system controlling the sympathetic system, and it increases age, increasing telomeres, length of telomeres also been increased. And with this different types of research, the Tirumala's pranayama is slowly getting popular, and Siddha system, which is very old system of medicine, which is been completely forgotten by the people, and now it is high time for us to promote our own system, because the system of Tamil which is brought in here is a unique system, and that can be completely taken out. You can able to see the lineage also, like for example this Indus Valley civilization, the Keeladi civilization, and Adichanallur civilization, which has gone for more than 4,000, 5,000 years back. Language-based medicine, unique language, unique system of medicine, and definitely this system will advocate you different types of practices, and that helps you to become highly immortal, because the whole world is working towards how to become immortal, and our own system gives a way, gives a path how to become immortal, and by seeing that path, definitely we just try to follow the Siddha path and become immortal. So with this, I wholeheartedly thank our Indica Yoga, Vinay Chandraji, and Mrs. Anuradha and Subhuji for giving us such a good opportunity to share my views on Siddha system of medicine and Siddha Yoga. With these few words, I thank you all. Thanks a lot.
Namaste. Thank you, Dr. Vetrivendan, for this wonderful presentation this morning on the yoga tradition of Siddha, and especially the pranayama, which you highlighted. I think will be very useful for people to practice also. And of course, usually, we have a lot of questions which are coming in from all these sessions. Today, we have more than around 127 participants in the Zoom platform, and along with the other social media platform, I'm sure it will reach up to 200 who have been actively participating in the session today. But because you are in a hurry also that you have to go fast for the clinic, so we will keep the questions less so that you have time to go for your medical practice. Also, I understand because you are in the government, the medical service, and also in this COVID-19 situation, you have been involved in a lot of activities where, along with the government's initiative, you have been working with the team of medical people, giving the wonderful solace for people. And the added glory is you have the yoga also. Otherwise, people only practice the medicine. Even in Siddha, they practice only Siddha medicine. But here, the Siddha yoga also is something which you have added. So that is a wonderful dimension that you have made it. We have a lot of appreciations coming. Dr. Sapna had made it. Thank you, doctor, for the simple but clear-cut explanation of Siddha medicine. So such appreciations are also coming. So I'll quickly take up a few questions which are there. So Shri Ramuji had asked a question. So there is a charge that all Siddha medicine uses mercury, which is highly harmful, like steroids in homeo. What is your opinion on this, doctor?
Yeah, the Siddhas are the pioneers in alchemy. So they use only purified mercury in a sulfide form. So purified mercury doesn't affect your body. So once it is being purified in right way, as is said in the purification process said by the Siddhas, when we do such kind of preparations, then there don't be any problem in using it. At the same time, that we need more research, because these practices and these preparation of medicine, and they've been said according to their olden days, the body concept and other the way of the lifestyle of traditional way. But today the lifestyle is completely changed. So it's high time that we have to rethink the dosage of medicines. So how much dose is needed for a certain body? The metallic doses, how much is needed, and what is the lethal dose? That of course it is we are open to research, and that can able to decide the doses, because high dose of certain medicals, even if we see sweet is also taken in higher quantity, that will be into the poison. So likewise we can able to fix up the dose. Of course we have mercury, and mercury has saved many lives.
Wow.
Of course purified mercury, which is being given for a number of higher diseases like cancer and other practices, other autoimmune disorders, it has saved many lives. But if it provided, it is given in the purified form.
Very nice. And also we have a question from Dr. Devshish Bharadwaj. Though of course you mentioned it in the beginning, the kind of the comparison between Ayurvedic system of medicine and Siddha medicine, but still Dr. Devshish has asked a question. What is the basic difference between Siddha yoga and the Siddha medicine and Ayurvedic system of medicine?
So this is based on language and based on the culture they had it. So here the 96 tattvas is not mentioned in Ayurveda, and in here we have a Vadam, Pittam and Kapam is a Siddha system, and there they have Kapam, Pittam and Vadam, their constitution. And here we have used more metals, and Varmam is strong in Siddha system of medicine. That Varmam is been there in Ayurvedic system. There we have the literature of Varmam is less. Here in Siddha system, Varmam is highly, it itself will become a medicine. Such a kind of vast knowledge is there. And it's based on the people where they live and where the medicine was born. That is, it's almost both of them existed in the same era only. A lot of exchange between Siddha and Ayurveda was happened. And there is a saying, there is a verse that Patanjali and Tirumular were students of Nandi. There was one verse is also been mentioned here. Basic principle, there is a difference, and a lot of similarities also there in Siddha and Ayurveda.
Very nice. And also Anil Kumar had asked a question. So you have been repeating frequently the term immortal or immortality and all. So what is the meaning of this immortal being referred so frequently? Please educate.
Immortal is postponing the death. We can't escape from the death. So only thing is postponing for living a long time. So if we start living for a long time, our ultimate motto, what Siddhar says, do service to the people, service to the God. So for that we have to live long. So that living long is always advocated with Siddhas. That is immortal. It is not that completely we can escape from the death. The death is there, but same thing, the death is only for the body, not for the life. So that's why Tirumular also recommends the shifting. It is called from one body to other body, we can able to shift. That is Attama Siddhi, we can call it. So that way we can able to manage ourselves. So but a lot of research is needed for the matter. One body to other. We can shift our life from one body to other. That is why that history of Tirumular also comes from. He was actually he was a sage, and he was just gazing the cows, and the person who was gazing the cow was bitten by a snake and he was dead, and the Tirumular get into his body and went to his house. So that is the story comes. So these are the ways that we can able to establish the different ways. We feel that this is something there is no science behind it, but according to me, what I say, science is yet to develop to prove our own system, because our thing is something metaphysics and metachemistry. So slowly science develop, and as the science develop, it's our duty to prove everything through the science, because it is not for it's not for that people to prove that. Only we can able to feel ourselves very proud that our own ancient Siddhas were more higher scientists than we feel today.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Also, you were mentioning about Tirumala's life itself, that he, could shift from one body to other in the same life. So even today, is it possible if you practice some Siddha medicine that if I don't wish to be in this body and I want to get into your body or something, is it possible, doctor?
Yeah, definitely. That's what we need more research on that. So because it is all full of chemicals. So that is the Rasavada. Vadam especially in Siddha system mentions the change of atomic particles. How to convert silver into gold. Okay. Is it possible? If you say to a layman that can change silver into gold, then he'll be happy. If everything is in gold, then I'll be happy with that. But how to do that? That is a process called Vadam or Rasavadam. That is alchemy process where the Siddhas change the atomic structure. The changing the atomic structure itself is a bigger task, but they did it. But they did it with a complete purified mind. As today, the mind is not purified. We can, if the mind is even 0.1% is impure, you can't able to get that. Only Siddhas who attain enlightenment, they can able to do the Rasavadam practices. Millions and millions of people, they lost money by converting the metals into gold because they don't have a purity mind. Only Siddhas who have divine power, divine nature only can do that.
Also, I have one question from Veronica Ji, who is a very regular attendee in all our sessions. And she has asked about, you did mention about the Kaya Kalpa herbs. So can you give some insights on what herbs are there? And
Yeah, the Kaya Kalpa, we have 3 different types, we call it. That is Mooliya Karpam, that is based on herbs. Thadu is based on metals and minerals. And Yoga is based on practice of pranayam. So these 3 different way of attaining the immortal way, as said by Siddhas. Simple home remedies, we can say. Simple Triphala Churanam is the best Kaya Kalpam. There is terminal Chebula, that is Kaduka, that is called Haridaki in Sanskrit, Amla and Tandrika. So these are the simple herbs which helps for accounting your immortal way. As in Siddha text they say, Kalayil Inji Kadumbagal Sukku Malayil Kadukai, which means early morning you have to collect ginger, which balances your pittam level. In midday, you have to take dry ginger, that is chukku, which balances your digestive power. And evening, you have to take the haridaki or kadukai, which detoxes your body. The next day, it is ready for the work. So these 3 things are very simple immortal herbs, which we can able to follow daily. That helps you in 2 things. One is for detoxification, and the other is for regeneration. And one more research I can able to quote in this is for herbs. Coming to the second one, that is metals. The metals, the gold is being higher. The gold is the one which is being mentioned in higher version for immortal things. Today, the gold is converted to nanoparticles, and nano gold we are importing from United States for treating the cancer patients. See how our medicine is going to United States and coming back to our own as a treatment. The gold is helping in regenerating the cells, especially in cancer treatment. So this is a way that we can able to maintain the immortal through the medicines, that is especially in metals. And coming to the third one, that is yoga, especially in Tirumala Pranayama, the research says when you practice Tirumala Pranayama, the stem cells, especially present in the bone marrow, whenever there is any injury or any damage in the cells, the stem cells present in that, they slowly come out, migrate from the bone marrow, comes to the flow, and wherever the cells are damaged, that comes and that helps in regenerating the cells. That is practicing of Tirumala Pranayama, which helps in, the research has been done in that, and that pranayama will help you to regenerate your cells and detox your cells. So that is a way that you have to maintain it. That is a special thing that our India has given to the whole world, that yoga, and today almost the Siddha Yoga speaks little higher, little less about asanas. He advocates very less asanas, and yoga starts in pranayama, because ultimate you have to reach the consciousness. So you have to merge yourself with the universe. For that, you have to become immortal and just try to do the pranayama. So this research in pranayama helps you to increase the stem cells production, and then get into the way to regenerate the cells.
Yeah. That way, even if you take Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Patanjali has not mentioned any specific asanas. Like out of all the 195 sutras, it is hardly 3 sutras that he has also quoted about asana, to not with any specific asana being mentioned. So it looks very similar. Also, when you're talking of the immortality, it's like when we say, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. And Adi Shankara also, we see in his life also, like Tirumular life, you said how he shifted from one body to other. When there was a debate between Mandana Mishra and Adi Shankara, the judge being Ubhaya Bharati, Mandana Mishra's wife. So Adi Shankara had to shift his body into a king's dead body to prove the grihastashrama things which as a sannyasi was not knowing. So all these cross references we keep hearing in all our traditions. Wonderful, doctor. Thank you. Also, one question we have from Suresh, who is a volunteer from Los Angeles in USA. He says, I volunteer with schizophrenic patients. Is there any treatment and experience in Siddha system for treating people with psychiatric problem?
Yeah, definitely. We do have a system. We have a special branch for psychiatric system also. We have it. We have to detox the people with certain medications. The line of treatment Siddha system is based on the detoxification. First of all, we have to detox the whole body and the mind. Then we give the treatment, both external treatment as well as internal treatment, both medicines and the external treatment will definitely help them. Along with the certain yogic practices, definitely they can able to overcome the depression, overcome the schizophrenic patients also. They can able, if they are taking certain medications, definitely they can able to, over a period of time, they can able to taper the medications, and on fine money, definitely with these practices, maybe in a year or two, depending upon the severity of the disease, definitely they can able to overcome the medicines, and they can able to lead the normal life, provided if they have any, if they don't have any physical problem in the brain.
Very nice.
Definitely there is medications are there. There is special branch in Siddha system for psychiatric disorders. The line of treatment always takes the lead. Like detoxification is always mentioned in every other problem. We always start the treatment with the detoxification.
Very nice. Also, in this contemporary situation, we are in the COVID-19 season, which is kind of going on, and we are affected a lot. So, a lot of questions on that. So, what is the treatment that we can seek from the Siddha tradition? I think already we have seen that in Tamil Nadu, a lot of things are spoken about the Kapasura Kodinir and all those things.
Yes, yes.
In one of my recent talks with your friend Dr. Sivaraman, also we got to know a lot about it. So can you tell what in COVID-19 situation from Siddha, what is there and how can we get it also? Because we have people from all over the world who are participating in this thing. Yeah. So how they at their local place, how can they access these medicines, how they can practice also, doctor?
Yeah, whenever we advocate this kind of system of medicine, it is we don't want to go anywhere else. It is just always present inside our kitchen.
Okay.
It's something like that. We can able to say that when we forget our kitchen, our traditional kitchen, definitely comparing the death rates coming for abroad and our own country, though we have been affected with 12 lakh people, our death rate is something between 2 to 3% only. But comparing other European countries or American countries, the death rate is too much because of the lifestyle and the food style they have it. First thing. Second thing, I'm very happy to say that we have in Chennai and other districts, we have a special dedicated Siddha COVID care centers are there. Been treating with the Siddha system of medicine, Siddha way of lifestyle, Siddha foods. Even till this, for example, we have been running for the past 3-4 months. Not even one death had been reported in the Siddha system of medicine. It is very proud to say that not even one single death has been reported from the people with the Siddha system of medicine. So we are treating with the mild case and moderate cases, and with this we are reducing the load to the modern system of people where that you don't want to get yourself into higher category. What coming to the medicine, it is not limited to the medicine alone. Right from the morning to the evening, we have different protocol is maintained here. Right from morning, gargling with the turmeric, gargle with the turmeric. Early morning, get up at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, gargle your throat with that hot water with the turmeric, with pepper. So these three things mixed. Second thing, and 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning, you can have lemon, and the boiled one, lemon, ginger, and pepper. This should be boiled with hot water, and that can be filtered. For example, if you want to take 50 ml of drink, you have to use 200 ml of water and reduce it to 50 ml, drink it. And 8 o'clock, we can have a very delicious breakfast, which is rich in more protein and less carbohydrates. And after that, we can have medicine called Kapasura Kodinir, which is this is the Kapasura Kodinir is a decoction. You can able to make the decoction, the powder, and that decoction has few beautiful 15 herbs. We have it, and that 15 herbs very prominent to say the first Sindil, that is Stenospora cordifolia, which has immunomodulatory effect. Second, Adaptora vesica, which has the binding capacity. The in silico studies has been done with that decoction, and that binds the virus. It doesn't allow the virus to multiplicate. So Adaptora vesica is such a wonderful thing in that. And we have Nilavembo is also there, which is Androcarpus paniculata. A lot of research has been done in there. It can reduce your fever also, and balances your the kapha kind of concept in the body. And 11 o'clock we can have a protein rich foods like the sprouts or something like that. And 1 o'clock we can have a traditional foods. In our own system, we have a traditional foods like minor millets. We always advocate minor millets like ragi, bajra, and Italian millet. Different types of millets we advocate for them. And evening we have that is chuku or shunti coffee we have. And evening we have a counseling session for the people, because people they'll be having a kind of panic mentality will be there. And we have a Siddha Yoga practice also being given for them. And the evening counseling session is being given according to the Siddha way. And at the night also we are given administering Nilavembo decoction also been administered. Apart from that, based on the compliance, we have medicines being given by the protocol being advised by government of Tamil Nadu. And overall, we can able to see the when they start taking Siddha system of medicine, the way of negative, for example, if it is there for 7 to 8 days to become negative, our treatment has suggested 5 days to 6 days. So when we reduce the rate of spreading the infection, definitely we can able to control the spread of the viruses also. So ultimate goal of Siddha medicine, a Siddha way of treatment, a Siddha way of protocol to reduce the way of spreading by making them negative as early as possible. So by this way, we are treating the disease, especially in Tamil Nadu.
But still, the number of COVID cases are in a lead in Tamil Nadu compared to many other states.
Of course. The virus always affects the body, because virus keeps on changing. Once it enters into my body, it gets little mutation will be there, and then affects your body, and automatic mutation will be there, because these are the places, thickly populated places. The thickly populated places automatically more prone for infections, and ultimately the death rate is the curative rate. Comparing in other states, Tamil Nadu is more than 68% curative rate is there, and death rate is maybe between 1% only. So by this way, we can able to almost 1.5 lakh people are more than 1.8 lakh people are been affected with the COVID, and the death rate is anywhere between 1% or 0.8% only. So we can able to, because virus spread is, we can able to manage to a certain extent, but ultimate goal is to save the people from death or fatality conditions. So in our way, we always advocate as an integrative system. We all work with allopathic system also, we work with the other system also to provide the proper care. Ultimate, the benefit should go for the patient. It is not that there should not be any scientific ego between the system, that my system cures well, other system doesn't cure well. We don't advocate for that. We always pat for integration of Siddha system along with any other system of medicine. So ultimately, the patient should be highly benefited.
Yes, doctor. Thank you so much. And still we have a lot of questions which are coming. We're already around 8.7 now. We have promised you that we will help you to get wind up at 8:10 for you to proceed towards your duty as a medical practitioner. That too in the government service, you are most wanted. You are a corona warrior, I would say, because today there are a lot of doctors who are also kind of facing a lot of challenges. They need to take care of their health as well. That is where doctors like you prove difference, because you are not just only doctors of medicine, but you are practitioners of yoga, that too from the Siddha tradition. You have been doing it. So therefore, you are having the more confident, I would say, to go and face this war of corona, which we are doing. And today, with your insights of the Siddha yoga tradition that we have got, I think you have also, kind of inspired us to take these practices. And as you rightly said, our laboratory or our pharmacy is in our kitchen. So that is where we can easily start some of these things. And of course, before I ask you how we get in touch with you, how we can contact you, I would like to go for the announcement for today's other sessions. Then I come back to you. There are a lot of people who want to get in touch with you. So already you have, of course, Dr. Vetri has shared his email. It's vetriyoga@gmail.com. Also, some people have asked, does doctor have a clinic or something in Bangalore. Can we meet him at Bangalore? So I have already taken the liberty of telling that Adhyatma Yoga at Jayanagar, Dr. Vetri frequently visits, and that's a place where in Bangalore, after the situation, currently he may be only giving online consultation, all those things from people, outstation people. So after the situation reverses, I'm sure Dr. Vetri will resume back his visits to Bangalore whenever time permits him. And also we have been having wonderful workshops with Dr. Vetri at Bangalore also. So we would take all this together ahead. So before we take your take home message, the contacts are already shared. Before we take the take home message, I would like to announce today's evening program. So I request Shri Ramprasad ji to share the slide for today's evening program. Please stay with us, Dr. Vetri. 1 minute. Yeah. So this evening we have a session between 7 to 8 p.m. So which is done by again our friend and alumni of the SVSA, Ketki Bokale. She is going to present us on an evening yoga flow for sound sleep. Wow, what a nice session. So nice to go towards our rest in the evening. An evening yoga flow for sound sleep we're going to have from Ketki ji today evening. So let's all join back at 7 p.m. today. And also, again, coming back to Dr. Vetri to have his contacts. I think already he has shared that. And we are going to have him to share his final take-home message. Before that, I have a personal invitation from my side. Tomorrow in the morning session between 7 to 8:30, I'm going to have my session every day, at least weekly, a few days. You have been seeing my face and anchoring and introducing the other guests. So tomorrow morning, it's going to be a session which is going to be handled by me, and it's going to be on Krida Yoga to bring out the child in each one of us. So that's going to be on Krida Yoga. So it's a session that we can all participate. It'll be a very active session where we're all engaged practically. And I invite you all to come with your kids as well. 7 a.m. would be too early in today's situation in some people in India also, but nevertheless, it's going to be an energizing session. I request all the participants to join with your children, share about this program to many people who have young kids. So with kids, and not that only kids should do, there is a child in each one of us. All of us can join and benefit. Yeah. With this, again, thank you. Once again, Dr. Vetri, for being with us in this morning, and you have shared wonderfully about this very important system, as such the Ayush system, and also particularly the yoga aspect of it. So very nice. We are thankful to you. So what is your final, take-home message from you? How we should, take this and then practice in our daily life. So what is your daily, final dosage for us?
Yes. So COVID has taught us a lot of lessons to us today. So even interacting like this, as also given by COVID, so we have to take a lot of positive things rather getting panic about the COVID diseases and strengthen. It is not that who has more money can live in the world, but today the whole thing has been thrashed out, and who has strongest immunity, they can survive in the world. So that is the saying today, and try to be with the every system has their own uniqueness. Every system has their own speciality, and try to get the maximum best of that system. Ayurveda, yoga, Siddha, Unani, and homeopathy. It's the only country. Our country always has a concept of unity in diversity. It happens in culture. It happens in medicine too. None other country has this kind of different rate of medicines. It's only our country which has unity in diversity, and whoever likes certain medicine, definitely stick to that medicine and try to respect other system of medicine also. And I appeal there should not be any scientific ego between the system of medicine, and all we are working towards the benefit of the people who seek the medicines. So with these few words, I wholeheartedly thank Indica Yoga, Anuradhaji, and team, and especially Vinay Chandra Banavati, because the first introduction was with him was in Singapore, in Vyasa, Singapore, and that day, I mean, 3-4 months ago, we were speaking about this kind of practices, and today it has become true. And with these few words, I wholeheartedly thank my very old friend Subbuji.
I am not that old. I am very young still.
I'm telling about the ages, not what you always young, Subbu. So with these few words, I wholeheartedly family thank you people for giving such a wonderful opportunity to share my specific Siddha knowledge to the people, and hopefully we all be safe, stay home, stay happy, stay healthy. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you,
Thank you,
Dr.
Vetri
Vetri,
ji.
friends. I think we had such wonderful insights of Siddha, as we rightly have understood. It's all from the same roots of the ancient Shiva, from whom all the systems are derived. May it be yoga, may it be Ayurveda, may it be Siddha, and everything. They're all the branches of the same big banyan tree that India has offered, Bharat has offered, and the Vedic tradition has offered. As we have been seeing, many people have been commenting a lot of comparisons. The concepts we keep seeing are all similar, and of course there are little diversions here and there, as rightly Dr. Vetri presented. Unity in diversity is our strength. So understanding this, we take ahead our yoga yatra further to take ahead in this global festival of yoga to learn more from various systems. Thank you, Dr. Vetri. Nandri, Vanakkam.
Vanakkam, vanakkam.